All right, so let's get started. So today is just like the beginning of our. I'm supposed to go live on TikTok today. I want those in the. I want us in the group to get. I want our numbers to get to like 200 or 300 members before we really get started officially. But um, I was a bit stuck in traffic today, so I could not meet up. So so let's get started. I hope you have watched the video I posted, the link to the video I posted in the group talking about time frame and candlesticks. Right. So today in today's section, we are going to be talking about we are officially going to be talking about market structure. So let's get started. We're talking about hold on. Mm, Market structure. Okay, sorry. Market structure, and under market structure, obviously, we are going to be talking about break of structure. And then obviously, definitely, there's no way we're going to talk about break of structure that we are not going to talk about change of character. Change of character. And then we are then going to talk about advanced market structure. Advanced market structure. Right. So these are the things that we're going to be talking about. Now, let me talk about everything that we're going to be talking about in this whole series. And then after advanced market structure, we're going to be talking about order block, fair value gap. And then we're going to be talking about order block. Then we're going to be talking about liquidity. Guys, if you understand all these things I wrote down, if you actually understand everything here I wrote down here, at the end of the whole section, you'll be able to trade anything, whether crypto, forex, indices, whatever, stocks, anything you understanding all this is going to give you all the knowledge you need to be able to trade forex, any kind of market, whether it's crypto, whether it's currency pairs, whether it's volatility or whatever. Because this is just what you need to understand, right? So all these indicators and all these things can come in, yeah, they can, but then this is just the foundation of forex trading. So we're going to be starting with market structure. We're going to be starting with market structure. So what is market structure? Right, just like I said, or like I told us in the WhatsApp group before, I mean on the TikTok, market structure is simply the movement of the first market. It's just the movement of the first market. All right. The first market moves in three ways. All right. Moves in three ways. It's either it is going up like this. It's just very simple. It's either the market is going up or it is going down like this, or it is going sideways. So these are the three ways the first market moves. Hold on a bit.
Should I send the face?
So is that the market is going up, down, or sideways? These are the three ways the first market moves, right? For me, just So we are going to be talking about the instance. The first instance that we're going to be talking about is when the market is going up, it's in an uptrend. All right. So let's talk about that. When the market is in an uptrend, guys, please listen attentively here, please. The market is in an uptrend. It does two things, right? One thing you should know is for certain is the market cannot just keep going up for an eternity. It gives you this, it goes up like this, gets to a point, right? It gets to a point in an uptrend, it gets to a point where it just is exhausted, right? The upward trend is exhausted. It goes down back a little like this, and then it continue going up. Same thing keeps repeating itself, comes back down a little, continue going up, come back down a little, continue going up. So this is what really happens in an uptrend. All right. So all this upward movement has a name, all right? So let's see this, right? Market goes up like this. Now, it's just common sense for this market to continue being an uptrend, that's give us what? Another highest point that is higher than this recent highest point, right? This is the current highest point. In this old diagram, the highest point is this point, right? But it has to give us a point that is higher than this highest point, right? So that's it, just common sense. For this to keep being an uptrend, it has to give us another high that is higher than this highest point, right? Gives us a high like this, means we now have a new high, right? And again, we know that the market cannot keep going up for eternity. It gets to a point, it retests, comes back down a little like this, and then continue going up to give us what? A new high. Again, it's still an uptrend. But again, for a market to keep in an uptrend, it should not break the lowest point here. It should not break this lowest point like this, right? For this market, this lowest point here is a protected low. Please stop that. Stop doing that, please. Is a protected low, right? That lowest point, right? So this is what happens in an uptrend. Now, all these things has a name, right? They have a name. So let's talk about the names. So whenever we hear it or whenever we see something like that, we'll be able to understand what they actually mean. All right. So in an uptrend, we have what? A high like this, a low. Common sense. If it gives us a new high like this new high is called the higher high, right? It is called the higher high because it is higher than the previous highest point. This is the previous highest point. This is the new highest point. This one is the higher high, right? Once it gives us the higher high, we know that the next thing the market is going to do is gives us what? This one. This one is called higher low, right? The market cannot keep going up from here for eternity. It comes back down like this, give us a higher low. The next thing is going to give us what is what? Higher high. So in an uptrend, you're expecting to see higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, like that's higher high. That's what we expect to see in an uptrend. Now, in a downtrend, right? In a downtrend, we're expecting to see what? A low, a high. We're expecting to see a low that is lower than this lowest one. It's just common sense, guys. For this to keep in a downtrend, it has to give us another lowest point that is lower than this lowest point, right? For this to keep in a downtrend. Downtrend means it is going down, all right? So that's to keep going down. Give us a new lowest low that is lower than this lowest point, right? This is called the lower low, right? And then it has exhausted the lower low, gives us this pushback, a pullback, lower high, lower low. So in a downtrend, it always gives us what? Lower lows, lower high, lower low, like this. That is what happens in a downtrend. That is what always happens in a downtrend. All right. So let's talk about, that's uptrend and downtrend. So that is how the forex market moves. In a downtrend, you're expecting to see what? A lower low, lower high. So if you open the forex chart now, right now, let me show you guys an example. We can just look at this one here. We can just look at this, and then we know that this is an option because now look at this. We have what? Higher high, just like I said, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and we're expecting what? A higher high. So that's what is really happening here in the first market, right? That's what always happens, right? So let's continue here. So that's what happens in an uptrend. In a downtrend, we are expecting to see what? Lower lows, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, like that. So once you open the chart, right? Once you open the first chart, just like this one now, let me show you this one here. Look at this one now. We have what? From here, we have higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. What are we expecting here? So we know that the next thing we're expecting is what? a higher high. So that's one thing you see. For market structure will help you to know exactly what is going on. All right. Sometimes you see in a downtrend, you see something like this: lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So here, what are we going to be expecting? I want you guys to answer this. What are we going to be expecting here? Just comment LL for lower low and LH for lower high. What are we going to be expecting here? Lower low or lower high? What are we expecting here? Lower low, exactly. Exactly. Lower low, exactly. So it's just common sense, guys. It's just common sense. Sorry. Lower low. It's just common sense. You understand? So we are getting to understand this. That is how the first market moves. Now we're going to see those examples, right? We're going to check the markets here, few markets to see the examples, to see how this actually works, right? Now we are still going to be getting to advanced market structure, guys. One thing you should know is, let me show you. Now, before I show you guys on the charts, let's talk a bit about this whole thing. So we are going to have a real understanding, because when we go to the charts, we are going to be seeing some things that is going to be a bit, confusing. But I really want to talk about this before we go to the charts. Now, one thing we need to talk about is break of structure, right? We need to talk about break of structure before we even go to the chart. So we need to understand what break of structure is, right? What is break of structure? Now, in an uptrend, we have higher high, higher low, higher high like this. Now, a break of structure is the point at which the market breaks. This is the recent highest point or the current highest point. The point at which the market breaks the current highest point to give us what a new highest point is called what? Our break of structure. Is called our break of structure. So this point here is our break of structure. Let me label this break of structure. So let's talk what is break of structure on the real chart. Again, I'm still going to go to the real chart. Again, we have higher low, higher high. Where is our break of structure here? The point at which the market breaks the recent highest point to give us a new highest point is our break of structure. That's our break of structure right there. In a downtrend, guys, please listen attentively. All these things are very important. They are the foundation of forex trading. And then we need to understand all this before we can be able to understand everything else that I'm going to be talking about. So in the downtrend, we are expecting to see what? A lower low, lower high. The point at which the market breaks the recent lowest point or the current lowest point to give us a new lowest point is called what? Our break of structure. It's just very simple, basic analogy, right? This is our break of structure here. Break of structure. All right. So where's our break of structure on the chart? Let's go to the chart. Let's go to the chart and check out where our break of structure is. Now look at this one now. Let's go back to this chart. Right? In this chart here, we have what? From here, we have what? Higher high, higher low, higher high. Where's our break of structure here? The point at which the market breaks the recent highest point to give us a new highest point is our what? Break of structure. This point here is our break of structure. All right. Now here we have higher low, higher high. Where's our break of structure here? The point at which the market breaks the recent what? Highest point to give us what? A new highest point is called our break of structure. That's what our break of structure is. So in this place, this is our break of structure, is our break of structure. Here is another break of structure here. All right. This is another break of structure. That's another break of structure. All right. Now, one thing you should know is, guys, listen attentively here. Now, the first market will confuse you a lot. Let me show you guys something. Let me show you guys something. Let me draw this part properly. You see something. Look at this. We have this one, higher high, higher low. Then look at this. We have this, something like this, before we have something like this. Let me show you something. That is why you need to understand this whole thing properly. Let me bring this out. Now, hold on. Hello? Yeah. Okay. So guys, one thing you need to understand is, guys, sorry for the, yeah, my network. Can you guys hear me now, please? Can you hear me properly now? Can you see my screen and hear me now, please? Okay. Okay. So one thing you should understand is, guys, the forex market will like to confuse you a lot, right? In this kind of markets, a lot of people will think this is our break of structure here, but this is not our break of structure. Break of structure is what? Again, the point at which the market breaks the recent highest point. Look at this. Hold on. This is higher high. This is a higher high, higher low. We need break of structure is the point at which the market breaks the recent highest point. This is the highest point in this. This is not the high. When this market has not given us this, right? This is not the highest point here. Look at this. We are waiting for a break of this. So anything that happens here is not, as long as it did not break this level, it is not a break of structure yet. All right? It is not a break of structure. It's a break of structure until this one broke this like this. So this here is now our break of structure. This here is now our break of structure. This is our break of structure. This is the point at which the market breaks what? The recent highest point to give us a new highest point. So don't confuse this. This point here is internal structure. We're still going to be talking a lot about that, right? So those are the things that you really need to understand. Same thing happened here. Let me show you. Same thing happened here. Look at this. Let me show you something. We have from here, we have higher high, higher low. We have this push, and this one, like this. All right. So where is our break of structure here? You need to be able to understand that, guys. This point, it is this one that break the structure, not this one. This one got there, but it did not break the structure. This is our break of structure here. All right. This is our break of structure. Right? This is our break of structure, not this one here. It is this move here that broke the structure. So you need to really understand that, because the market will try to confuse you a lot. You need to understand what break of structure really means. It's as simple as that, right? It's as simple as that. So that is what break of structure is. Now, the next thing we're going to be talking about is change of character, right? We're going to be talking about what change of character is. Of course, we are treating what these are scheme. We've talked about market structure. We've talked about break of structure. The next is what change of character. What is change of character? What is change of character? Now, one thing you should know is the first market will not just keep going up for eternity. If it's an uptrend, it will not just keep trending to the upside for eternity. At the point, it goes from an uptrend to a downtrend. So the point at which the market changes from an uptrend to a downtrend is called change of character. All right, change of character. So how does change of character happens? Or how does change of character happens? Now let me show you. Now in an uptrend, we have what? Higher high. Of course, we know that already. Higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. We know that these are what our break of structure right here. These are break of structure here. These are break of structure. This also what? Our break of structure. Please listen attentively, please. All these points are very important. This also our break of structure. Now, one thing we should know is, of course, at a point, this market is going to change from an uptrend to a downtrend, right? We know in an uptrend, we are expected to see what? Higher highs, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. And in downtrend, we're expected to see what? Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, right? So how does that change from higher highs to higher, lower low, lower high? Now, one thing I always like to do is, I like to mark out my point of interest, right? Again, we're talking about change of character, right? Let me talk about this again. So we're talking about change of character. Change of character is simply the market changing its trend from an uptrend to a downtrend, or from a downtrend to an uptrend. All right, because sometimes, a lot of the times, the market will not just keep going, will not just keep giving us an uptrend for eternity. At the point they change from an uptrend to a downtrend, or from a downtrend to an uptrend. So change of character help us to know that this market has now changed from an uptrend to a downtrend, or from a downtrend to an uptrend. All right, that's what change of character help us to note. Right, so let's see an uptrend scenario. In an uptrend, of course, we know that we're expecting to see what? Higher highs, higher low, higher high, like this, higher low, higher high. Right, this is an uptrend. We know that. All right. So what I like to do when I'm having an uptrend like this is I like to mark out my point of interest. Now, my point of interest in this whole thing is what? The recent or the current highest point in this trend. How are we going to know if it's lower low? Just listen attentively, please. My point of interest is the recent highest point and what's the recent lowest point here. Right? This is my point of interest. Once the market is giving me what? Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, like this, higher high. My point of interest is the recent highest one and the recent lowest one. Now, what I'm always going to be anticipating or expecting in an uptrend is what? Higher low and break of structure, right? This is going to be our break of structure, right? This is what I'm expecting to see for this market to keep going up, all right? Now, for this market to keep being an uptrend, like I said again, it has to break the recent highest point, like this. Now, what if the market did not break the recent highest point? If it did not break the recent highest point, and it breaks the recent lowest point instead. Now, before I talk about it breaking the recent lowest point, if it did not break the recent highest point and it did not break the recent lowest point, everything happening in here, if it's doing something like this, everything happening in here is internal structure, guys. It's internal structure. If you now do something like this, everything in here is internal structure. If I'm to draw my path for this thing, guys, let me do this again. Let me do this again so we can understand better, guys. Let me draw this again so we can understand better. Look at this. In an uptrend, we have what? Higher high, higher low, higher high, and then we have something like this happening. The first market will like to confuse us a lot. Guys, as long as it has not break the recent highest point and it has not break the recent lowest point, everything inside here is internal structure. So if you now break this one like this, now if I have to draw my path, this is how it's going to look like. Higher high, higher low, higher high. The lowest point here, higher low, higher high. This is how I'm going to draw it. This one is the same thing as this one. I just ignored all this thing here because everything in here is internal structure. So that's one thing you should understand. Everything in here is internal structure. The first market will really want to confuse you. Until I see a break of structure, that's where I can consider this a higher high. Everything in here is internal structure. Of course, there are ways to trade internal structures too. We are going to be talking about that later on. Just calm down. All right, so let's continue here. So I was saying, talking about change of character. Now, change of character happens where we are having higher highs, higher lows, higher high. And then I've marked out what? My point of interest as what? My recent highest point and my recent what? Lowest point, right? So what I'm expecting here to happen is what? Higher low and higher high, right? Higher low, break of structure. So what if this did not happen? What if the recent lowest point gets broken? Remember, for this to keep in an uptrend, common sense, the recent highest point needs to get broken, right? It's still going up, right? It needs to give us this push to the upside. But what if it did not break this one? What if it breaks the recent lowest point instead? If it breaks the recent lowest point like this, it means the market now wants to change from an uptrend to a downtrend. And a downtrend, we're expecting to see what? Lower low. So this is going to be what? Our change of character. The point at which the market breaks the recent lowest point in an uptrend is called our change of character. Change of character. So in a downtrend, we know in a downtrend, we're expecting to see what? Lower low, lower high. So I'm not going to expect this one to give me a break of structure again. Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, like this. This is what I'm now going to be expecting to see. Now, this is how the market changes what? From an uptrend to a downtrend. From an uptrend to a downtrend, as you can see. So that is that on that. That is that on change of character. So let's see change of character. Change of character what? In a downtrend scenario. In a downtrend scenario, we have what? Lower low, like this. Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? And then I'm having what? My point of interest as my recent highest point and as my recent lowest point here, right? So what I'm naturally expecting to see here is this higher high and a break of structure, right? But then what if this recent lowest point did not get broken? What if the recent highest point gets broken instead? If the recent highest point gets broken, we have this. So it means the market has now changed from what? A downtrend to an uptrend, right? And this will be our change of character. In a downtrend, the point at which the market breaks the recent highest point, to give us what? A new highest point is what our change of character. This is our change of character. And once we get our change of character, we know that in an uptrend, we're expecting to see what? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So this is how the market changes from a downtrend to an uptrend. Very simple. Very simple. Let me see. You said you're going to explain using MetaTrader. Yeah, of course, it's still the same thing. This is MetaTrader 5 here. It's still basically the same thing. I just like using I just like using TradingView because TradingView has a lot of tools that I can use to explain properly. All right. TradingView has a lot of tools that I can use to explain properly. It's just the same. It's the same concept, right? This one doesn't have a lot of tools that I can use to, show you guys and explain the whole thing properly. TradingView just have a lot of tools that I can use to explain properly. That's why I'm using TradingView. All right, so you can use MetaTrader 5 to do your analysis and all that. All right, so that is that on that. So before I continue, right, I don't want to jump back too much information to us, and because we still want to have a lot of people here, and I don't want to go too far before a lot of people join us and then the whole thing. So guys, I'm going to show you guys what change of character looks like on the chart. Let me show you guys this, right? Change of character looks like on the charts. So let me show you this. Now look at this. Let me show you this. From here we have what? Uptrend. We have higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Then look at this change of character. Right? Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Then lower low. So where's our change of character here? The point at which the market breaks what? The recent lowest point. This is our change of character. Right? This is our change of character here. As you can see. So I would have entered the trade around here and there would have been in profits selling here. So that's that on that, guys. Now, guys, we are going to be starting our VIP groups very soon. Now, in our VIP group, now everything we are learning here, we are going to be applying it to the Deriv platform here. All right, so we're going to be applying it to the Deriv platform here, and I'm going to be showing you how to especially flip accounts. Again, that's one program we're about to start, turning small account size into big account size. I think I dropped a video yesterday on how I turned $100, even a $10 into over $10,000 with this platform. And then we need all the knowledge that I'm giving you guys here to be able to do it there. Now, those are the things that we're going to be learning in the VIP group. Now, for those that are interested in the VIP group, it costs $30 to join. We're going to start the first live section, the first Zoom meeting in the VIP group tomorrow. And I'm going to be showing you guys how to understand this platform and how to use this platform to make consistent profits. You are going to start introduction to that. You do not want to miss out on that. And like I said, again, I'm still giving discount of $10. So if you want to join the VIP group, you want to be a part of the meeting tomorrow for the VIP group, you can still join with $20 instead of $30. It should still go back to $30. So you can join with $20. Just send me a DM on WhatsApp to be able to join our VIP group. You do not want to miss the section of the class on this one where we're going to be applying just everything we're learning here. I'm going to show you how to apply market structure. Now, as we are advancing in all these things, we're going to be applying it to the Deriv platform, to the chart, seeing how we can understand the chart better and the whole thing. And then before we finish the whole thing, we would know how to flip account, turn small account sizes to large accounts. And of course, we are still going to be trading together. So tomorrow we are going to be starting in the VIP group. We're going to have our first class in the VIP group. So if you are not in the VIP group yet and you're interested, send me a DM already. You will not miss tomorrow's class. All right. I might not be doing a free class here on the Zoom meeting tomorrow. I'm going to be teaching those in the VIP tomorrow, and we're going to be applying the things that we're going to be learning here into the VIP group. So that is that on that. I don't want to give us so many information today because we are still going to be going deep into this whole thing by tomorrow, next tomorrow, when more people join the WhatsApp group. Right. And then again, there's this program we're going to be starting very soon where we're going to be flipping account, turning $50 or $100 into $1,000 or $3,000, something like that. We're going to be doing something like that. And for that program, it's going to be the first 10 people that join the VIP group. I cannot do that for a lot of people. So it's just going to be the first 10 people that join the VIP group. You're going to deposit in your account. We're going to trade together, come live like this. We're going to trade together and we're going to flip our account, turning $150 into something very, very large. All right. So we're going to be explaining that later on, but then you have to be in the VIP group to even participate in that. So if you're interested in the VIP group, just send me a DM after this section. We are going to be ending this section now. I don't want to keep, again, give us too many information just yet because, of course, we're still going to be having in-depth class in the future. I just want us to have a very good understanding or idea of market structure. And then by tomorrow, next tomorrow, when more people have joined us, we will be able to do or dive into this whole thing more properly. All right, so that is that on that, guys. I'm going to be ending this section here. If you have any question, you can ask in the WhatsApp group, and then I'm going to be willing to answer your question properly. Again, if you want to join the VIP group, just send me a DM on WhatsApp. And then tomorrow we're having our first class in the VIP group, and then you do not want to miss out on that. So thank you for joining tonight's section. I'm going to be ending this section right here. Take it. Someone said, what about fair value gap? Of course, we are still going to be talking about all those things. Again, we're going to talk about fair value gap and other block. We're taking this whole thing one step at a time. So we do not want to rush things one step at a time so everybody is going to understand. So that's what we're doing. So the video is going to be it's being recorded and it's going to be posted on YouTube. So if you miss the section, you can also still watch on YouTube and all that. So thank you for having us tonight. Are there people in the VIP group? Yeah, there are people already in the VIP group. So if you want to join, you can already join. There are a lot of people already joining the VIP group. So we just want more people in there. So that's what we're doing. So, so we're going to be ending this section now. So take it.